So I want to make a video about how I got into anime, as I feel my experience compared to a lot of other people is unique. I also want to talk about the stereotypes of being an anime fan, but more on that later. First, I want to talk about how I got into anime. Now, back when I was a kid, like around 6 years old, my brother and cousin were really into Dragon Ball Z, which was the first anime I ever saw. And a little background on the shows I used to watch as a kid, I would watch like Ren and Stimpy, South Park, and shows on Adult Swim. At the time, I had never seen any animated action shows. So when I saw Dragon Ball Z, it was fucking life-changing. It was crazy to see characters dying, screaming, and bleeding. The only other show that I saw with blood and gore was Celebrity Deathmatch, which doesn't take itself as serious as Dragon Ball. But I wouldn't consider those moments as my introduction into anime. As I mentioned in my 7 steps to being a weeaboo video, my friend Roadkill harassed me until I watched an anime called High School DxD. Now, am I proud that this is my real introduction into anime as a teenager? No, not at all. But hey, it's a pretty good fucking anime, and not for the reasons you think. Now, normally I wouldn't watch anything Roadkill suggests to me because he's fucking insane, and if I listened to what he said, I'd probably be a furry right now. But during that time, I had just finished Breaking Bad, and I felt TV shows literally couldn't get better than that, so that's why I stopped watching TV. Now, I know that sounds silly if you've never seen Breaking Bad, but that's because you've never seen Breaking Bad. And I know now that TV has stepped its game up, but back then Breaking Bad was television's peak content, and it still is. It's kind of like when you listen to a new album from a band or artist you really like, and you're like, well, fuck me, why would I listen to anything else right now? That's how I felt about Breaking Bad all the time, up until I discovered anime. And it's not so much that I think anime is the best form of content, it's something I've never seen before. It's something I actually described to Turkey Tom. He asked me why I watched his content, you know, back when he was making content like a year ago. And I simply said, his content was so unique and I'd never seen anything like that I just subscribed, because, you know, when I see something that I've never seen before, it intrigues me, and I really want to get to know more about that content or whatever the fuck I'm looking at. And I've really given up on adult animation. It's all comedy shows done by shitty writers who don't know anything about animation or comedy. The reason Ren and Stimpy is one of the best cartoon shows ever is because it's written by animators. Nowadays, everything is censored or lacking creativity, but in Japan, there's literally an anime clowning on America for their censorships, while at the same time telling some of the dirtiest jokes that would never slide on American television. I was watching this anime, and it's in the future, and it's like the government is banning bad words, like naughty words.
Oh my god! Yes! Yes, you finally watched it. I told you to watch that anime a long ass time ago.
But the main reason I love anime is because it does things America doesn't have the balls to do. Yet America still tries to cash in on anime with what they know best and still fail. I genuinely feel I've watched 90% of the best TV shows, and it's hard to find the rest of that 10%. I've only been watching anime for about a year, and every show feels like I've reached the peak of anime content. Now, I know there's a lot of complaints about anime, like the art style, the cliche characters, and the filler episodes. Now, I agree with, yes, there are shows with these problems, sometimes all 3 or more. But anime is such a big media that of course you're gonna see bad shows, but that doesn't sum up the entire genre. Now, I Hate Everything made a video on why he hates anime, which I think is an okay video. I disagree with a lot of what he has to say in this video. Like, for example, his point with how every anime is the same. He mainly talks about Shonen Jump anime, which I agree is very repetitive and cliche. But there are gems like the Dragon Ball series that help pave the way for Shonen Jump animes, especially in America. And in case you don't know what Shonen Jump means, it's basically animes made for boys aging from like 12 to 18, mostly action. And most of the criticism I see about anime is towards Shonen Jump, which I agree is mostly repetitive cliche shows. But there are a lot of other shows that break those cliches that I see no one talking about when they give reasons on why anime is bad. For example, Mob Psycho 100 is visually one of the best shows I've ever seen and breaks all the cliches about main characters. Also, another example is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, breaks every anime cliche and is one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Over-the-top theme songs. Now, I know this might just be horribly cynical of me to suggest, but in a similar way to how popular movies shove in current pop stars, is it possible that a large portion of animes use their elaborate opening theme as a way to promote a popular J-pop band? This isn't to say that the songs themselves aren't good or catchy, but there is something about the style of music that comes across to me like this is the case. It's almost like the way every song with "run" or "revolution" in the lyrics are used in every single type of advert in the world ever. That's all I really wanted to say about the theme songs. Move along.
Now, the point Alex makes about anime openings is fine. I can't agree with what he has to say because I know nothing about J-pop or the industry, and I don't feel the need to tell you how amazing some anime openings are, as music is subjective to a certain degree. But there is one thing I agree with Alex on, and that's annoying fucking filler episodes. I refuse to watch all of Naruto due to how much I hear people bitch about the flashback episodes. Now, I deal with the filler episodes in the Dragon Ball series because of how dedicated I am to the series, and it makes up for the amazing shit the show does that I honestly would have to make another video just to tell you how amazing that show is. Now with that all being said, I don't think anime is the best form of media at all, and I don't think it's flawless. There are a lot of things I dislike about anime, but the genre is so fucking big you can't write off anime as a whole because Shonen Jump has a lot of flaws. Most people who hate anime watch the wrong anime or watch what's popular, and most of the popular animes are fucking garbage. And I agree the fandom is one of the worst I've ever seen next to 21 Pilots and K-pop. Now personally, I wouldn't consider myself part of the anime community. I don't write reviews, I'm not in the forums, I'm not on Reddit, I don't do any of that shit. The most I've done is making my anime list account just to keep record of what I've watched. If you're considering getting into anime, I suggest staying away from the community and just watching shows you're interested in, at least until you know if you like anime or not. But anyway, thanks to Turkey Tom for giving me some pointers for this video when I asked him for help. He's genuinely a good guy even after I criticize his content, so go check him out. Links in the description to Turkey Tom and Alex's video.